Hello and welcome to the Social Recruiting Show. I'll do that again. Hello and welcome to the Social Recruiting Show. I'm Katrina Collier. I speak, train and I write about the use of social media for recruitment, and clearly I'm slightly dog obsessed because he's here today. I'm of course joined by my gorgeous co-host Audra Knight, who is an employer branding nerd, a recruitment marketing genius, and whatever else I feel like calling her, as usual. And you're introducing today's guest because you know Lindsay well, so I'm going to let you do that.
Yep. Lindsay and I worked together quite a few years ago, I guess now, when you were at Aetna. Yeah. But I know you've done some big things since. Could you talk about Oracle and then your new exciting gig?
Sure. So May 2015, I signed on with Oracle to do employer branding full-time, which was, really exciting for me. That's ultimately what I wanted to do anyway, kind of make that shift from recruiting to employer brand. So the opportunity presented itself. I reported into Celinda Appleby, spent about just over a year with Oracle and kind of building out that function, working with our partners in North America to amplify the brand, help to promote opportunities, and really kind of tell the story of who Oracle is and why you should want to work there. Fast forward, joined Travelers just over a month ago now as the manager of the TA social recruiting function. We're really looking at a blank slate. Our channels are in place, but I've laughed with Audra quite a bit about where things are in the here and now, and just how much opportunity there is to kind of build this out. And it's been really exciting. A lot of senior support, leadership support, which I think is crucial when you are starting to kind of navigate the AV space. So it's been quite the trip so far. Really loving it, and people are great. So that's
it must be good having a blank slate, though. Surely.
Yeah. It's where there is nothing, anything is possible type of mentality right now. So it is exciting. It is exciting. A lot of work to be done, but again, that support I think is really going to help us.
Where do you
build this out.
Do you sit in recruitment, or do you sit in marketing, or are you somewhere in the middle, or where does the function?
I sit in talent acquisition.
Okay.
Yeah. I roll up into recruiting. A lot of support for marketing though, so we're constantly in cahoots and talking a bit, and they've built it. So how do we kind of leverage that is where we are in the conversation. So
are you actually taking over the channels from marketing, the career channels?
No, those were actually built by talent acquisition. Okay. So they were put into play just prior to my coming on. So they're there, like I said, and I think that was in due part to the relationship that had been established with marketing and explanation of what we wanted to do. So we are autonomous from marketing, but we do kind of look to them for guidance.
Yep. And is your role completely new? They didn't have a person like you before, right? Or did they?
It's completely new. It's completely new. So
that's cool.
I just kind of make shit up as I go, and
it's awesome.
I'm sure Katrina just cringed hearing that. Making it up. Bless her.
But that shows that they really get it, the need for it, which is good.
It's really quiet in the side channel there. Sure she's listening. But I mean, that must be good, because usually there's so much friction between recruiters and marketers, and it must be nice that they're working with you and they're not working against you completely.
Yeah, absolutely. Crucial relationship. So yeah, really happy to have their support. It makes things a lot easier.
Yeah, a lot of companies we have a blank slate, but there's no support from above. So it's cool that you have that.
Yeah. Definitely. I think a lot of trying to get employer branding off the ground is just kind of that top-down mentality. Recruiters and folks might have a passion for social recruiting or kind of get the value there, but unless the messaging is accepted up at the upper level, the people who can drive the change, and that's really where you kind of have to start, I think.
Yeah, and it's also, I still think, I find it amazing. I mean, I set out to teach this. Okay, I set out in 2009, but I didn't start till 2011 because I actually worked in-house for 18 months, which was just as well because I learned so much. But I still find, even though I've been teaching now for how many years, like 4.5, nearly 5, that I'm still too early. There's still this. Oh my God, I can't possibly go to social media and share that, and particularly about keeping it real, which it was actually, I was at Oracle yesterday. I did a presentation with Oracle and Symmetrics there for a breakfast thing with recruiters, which was really cool. And I can assure you, I used you guys as Oracle as an example all the way through So it was quite good that you were replying to people and doing all the simple stuff that so many companies don't do. But it was still interesting watching, because these recruiters were from other companies, but it's still that, oh, we can't do that, we can't be real. And I'm going, but you're losing people. They'll start and they'll leave 3 months in. So it's, any advice for that? Or you haven't had it as a problem, so therefore.
Well, probably getting rid of the stock photos is one, right?
Yeah, I mean, I think too, the thought that you have to, if you haven't done it yet, you're automatically left behind and there's no sense in starting. Or you watch, the big companies of the world, like the Googles and the Ciscos, and you think, oh, we have to do what they're doing to kind of keep up and get our brand name out there. But in all reality, you don't, and actually I'm going to quote Celinda Appleby, and I hope she doesn't mind, but she had always said, you don't want to sell a Benz when you have, in all reality, like a really nice Honda, So when you're out there in the marketplace, and she didn't reference those types exactly, but same gist. So when you're out in the marketplace and you're, selling a fully loaded Mercedes-Benz, and then you get off the lot and all of a sudden you're in a Honda, and it's like, wait a second, this is not what you sold me once upon a time. This is not what I signed on for. And that's where, the employee turnover happens. That's where people start to kind of question what you're putting out there. So I think the first step when you're building your employer brand is to really accept yourselves for who you are, your company for who it is, and accentuate the positive, because no matter how big, how small, what market you're in, what industry you're in, there's the positives. There's people there who are enjoying what they're doing. They love what they do. They, will regard signing on to be one of the best decisions they've ever made. So how do you channel that and tell that story, as opposed to, look at the bells and whistles? You don't necessarily have to go that route to tell a good story. You just have to be honest and forthcoming.
Lots of us don't want to work in the offices with the bean bags and the slides and all this kind of open plan. Some of us like cubicles to go and hide away in and have some peace. And so it's just like, keep it real. I mean, you can see into all of our offices straight behind. I see exactly what it's like. It's like, okay, I choose that environment or I don't. I actually love the way Craig Fisher talks about it with CA Technologies, and I quote him all the time. And he calls it employee engagement, which I think is really quite cool. So they've got hashtags that they use, which I know Oracle has had as well, and I assume you've probably got one now at your new company, where the staff are just sharing photos, just day-to-day general photos using that hashtag, and they're passing them on. And it's just so easy. You don't even need to come up with the content in some ways with the photo side.
No. The best content always comes from within. Honestly, that's the truth. That's what people want to see. And there's no screwing with that story. That's what your employees are saying about you. And it's important to leverage what's already gained momentum. So it is important to kind of capitalize on the trends and the different campaigns out there. Sure, definitely weave that into the broad strategy, but look around you first. See what's already out there. See what your employees are saying about you, and take advantage of the content that already exists.
Yeah.
That's a big.
Well, otherwise, it's easy though. I'm having a tough time getting employees to use our hashtag because it's totally like new to them. I think once you're going and people are using it, they see other friends, they use it. Getting it started is, I think, a bit challenging, especially without a vendor.
So I think where CA Technologies did it so well, besides bribing them with gifts, which was that's cool, because they had budget to do that. Not everyone does. But I do think the whole thing of having your own photo reposted onto the corporate site and making a big deal of it. So if you're doing a newsletter out to the staff, really going, hey, we shared this photo, what do you think? And just bigging up the person as well. So then your ego comes into it a little bit of like, oh, I want my photo to be shared. And then you
competition.
It's showing the appreciation and the love, I think.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, I mean, it's funny that you say that, because I remember when I first logged on to or joined Oracle, and it was June when we were coming up with all of our Pride collateral, and I kind of volunteered to share my story and the reasoning behind my coming onto Oracle and just the receptive culture there. My mom printed that Facebook post out and hung it on our fridge. It still sits on our home refrigerator, so there is this like novelty to seeing yourself out there on social, and people get excited about that. So I don't even think it's, you necessarily have to bribe, so to speak. You just kind of position it as, are you ready to embrace the social media spotlight?
And printing out a shout out. This is hysterical. So this was Stacey Zopart, the queen of all of this, said something about Facebook as a sourcing tool, and Rob Caswell answered saying that I could help with that, and of course she knows that, and it was just hysterical. So it's like really great for my ego. So I printed it out, and it will be going up on the wall. But see, it's like we love this stuff. We love a shout out.
See?
So I just saw the comment. I had our thing on the wrong thing. I just seen the live chat going on here.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. And yes,
that's a lot of things
you see back there.
There's a fan. A lot of love.
There's a fan back there. There's just, a day in the life. This is, I told you,
well, people leave, they'll go to Indeed and they'll write their comments there. It's not just Glassdoor they're going to, isn't it? So, you want to keep it real. If your office is a bit shabby and not pristine, whatever, who cares?
Totally.
Yeah. But I really love that. I've talked a lot about Zalando check as well when I went there in January, which seems like forever ago. But I could tell exactly what I could wear when I walked in and what the atmosphere would be like from their photos, their staff sharing stuff, and it was exactly what it was. It was the coolest, but it was genuine.
Yep.
See? Yeah. Yeah, genuine. That's a crucial piece.
Oh no.
Oh no.
She'll be back.
She's gone.
Then I'd rather know and be able to make that education.
Oh, we missed some of that, Lindsay. You froze.
Yeah, could you say that one more time? We almost had it.
Oh, I just, I'd rather know what the reality is, what you're dealing with, and be able to make that educated decision. Is this the right move for me? Because, if it's not, then, well, shoot, you're not doing anybody any favors by, telling a story that's just you won't stay. And retention is a big piece. A lot of people will say, well, no, it's about, filling the seats. Well, no, it's about keeping your employees on board. It's the hires, it's retention. It's, your employees are your biggest advocates. Keeping it real with them is huge.
Do you do much with video? Oh, sorry.
I was just going to laugh at Katrina. Katrina Kibben with the, you don't want to catfish folks. That's so true. Nobody wants to be catfish. You don't want to think you're talking to, a cute little blonde, and then you show up and it's, Ronald McDonald. Like, you just,
scary guy.
like, all set.
Yeah,
very true. Audrey, you were going to say something.
Yeah, I was thinking we should talk about campus recruitment a little bit.
Oh, yeah.
That's the topic of the show.
Wait a second.
Why don't we talk about the topic? We never talk about the topic.
Well, I'm mostly concerned with the faux hawk portion of the conversation.
Yes.
And Andra, I'm a little bummed you're not sky high right now, but I'll let it slide.
Yes.
How about the product?
This is something I don't know what you're talking about. It didn't translate across the pond, so you have to explain what you mean.
Just cool hairdos. Check out her amazing hair.
Is that what the faux whatever means?
Yeah,
that was the main point of this conversation today. It had nothing to do with college recruiting. I just wanted to have a chance to talk about the faux hawk.
We talk about it all the time because I call myself a rock star, but I have mom hair.
Yeah.
I just have
someday she's going to help me.
I have the hair that takes 5 minutes to do, and that's it. Lazy hair.
That's true.
So, she's frozen again. I know. Oh,
it's not too.
See, I have the hair. I don't have the musical talents.
I think it's your Wi-Fi.
Yeah, I wonder if it's your Wi-Fi's not too good.
Are we breaking up? Are you guys?
You can't plug in.
Can you hear me? Can you see me? Is it mine?
Yeah, there you go. Let's check out your.
You know what? I suppose you guys want to go on a trip
and matches.
See if we can get some better service. All right. Yeah, I was gonna say on this episode of MTV Cribs.
So you started.
All right, we'll walk and talk.
University recruitment, right? Mostly.
What do you guys think? Better? Yeah. I started on the sourcing team. Oh, and here's Milson.
Oh, that's so cute. It's Ray.
It's his birthday today. He's 3.
Ooh.
So in dog years, he's 21. So we'll be hitting the club tonight. Oh yeah, big doings. Yeah, so I started on the sourcing team at Aetna. That was kind of my first big girl corporate job. And then I migrated over to university relations about a year in and did that for a while. And I loved it. It was a great opportunity. Learned a lot about the space. And what I enjoyed most about Aetna is the fact that from both the sourcing experience and the university relations experience, you know, I kind of learned quite a bit about the different roles, the different levels, meeting, you know, people at all areas of the enterprise. And I think that really kind of tied in nicely to the employer branding gig that I eventually took with Oracle.
She's wobbling.
Isn't it?
Oh!
Yeah.
All right,
I'm petting the dog.
I'm going back to my question that I asked before because I still see resistance. But do you guys use much video then? In what you're doing?
Oh, video. Once upon a time with Oracle, yes. That is a topic of conversation in my current role. So the video side of things, the real center of focus was life at Oracle, you know, the day-to-day. So it was all centered, all the content was centered around asking different folks, primarily from sales and app dev, what life is like at Oracle. So we leveraged that quite a bit for our content purposes. Those now live on Oracle's different assets. Zeroed in on the development programs as well.
Would you do it differently now?
I would say video was probably one of our strongest hitters as far as content is concerned.
2 questions all at once. Yeah, I'm just thinking like 2016, shorter attention spans.
Would I do it differently now is what I heard. Yeah, I mean, I think for the purpose that we were looking to serve, the videos at Oracle definitely hit the mark in that regard. I think now that I think the industry and, like you said, the attention spans have kind of taken a shift where it's about kind of short elevator pitches, kind of a glimpse into the day-to-day on a less polished level. So for instance, less staging, more of like, you know, taking a look at what people are really up to, kind of like the stories that you see on like Snapchat and stuff like that. I think there's a thirst for that type of content. So I think as we kind of build things out in my current position and we cross the road of, or the bridge into video, I think that's probably the direction we'll go. Those kind of short snips into the day-to-day. Probably, and I was reading an article the other day about how a lot of this content, especially video, is coming from people's iPhones. You know, employees are snapping these videos. So
you don't need to hire.
There's some room for some grassroots efforts in that regard, for sure.
Yeah, it's always in the budget.
And cheap.
I love it.
Cheap.
Cisco, we asked Cisco loads on there.
Yeah.
They seem to hand their phone around as well.
Get it done.
It's always off with different people doing different things. It's quite cool.
Yeah.
What was your question, Audra? Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think we pretty much answered it. Because I was talking about, like, did you
all good.
hire like a video
What's up, Audra?
agency to take it? How much production? But I mean, I was kind of getting to the point that in the future, I think there'll be less production, like you said, more kind of in the moment. Yes. Yep. I think people appreciate that it's not, even if it's kind of messy and shaky, they like that it's not edited. It doesn't feel, you know, staged or, you know, produced. Yeah. And I do wonder if live streaming will become big, but live streaming is tough because so many like heads, I think, are nervous about what could happen. I heard about a streaker once from Jessica Miller-Merrill. So that, I don't know if that'll take go.
See, I would.
Exactly.
I would want to work for that company. That's what's tricky, you know. Like you don't see that every day.
That kind of goes. It goes back to the people rolling
is
themselves
it a Ronald McDonald or is it the blonde we just
Doesn't it?
like that?
Like, getting people to deselect, you know, great, brilliant. If it deselects people out who wouldn't like that, and as you just said, you probably want to work with them. I think that's brilliant. I love that idea. Yeah.
Right? I mean, keeping it real. If you happen to have someone in your company who's going to make it a habit, streak through the hallways, and you know, it's better to know that before
nothing
you
about campus
sign
recruitment
on.
whatsoever. So how does awesome. Okay, don't answer my question then. Because
me neither.
Oh God, what's Matt written there? But how does it differ then from what you're doing now? Like, because truly, I have no idea. So treat me like I have no idea, because I have no idea.
Sure. Well, I think, yeah, I mean, campus recruiting, and it really, I mean, it doesn't necessarily differ. The only real change is the fact that I'm not the one going to campus, and I'm not the one interacting with students, and I'm not the one talking to hiring managers about the volume and their leadership programs and things like that. Where my role comes in is really kind of the branding components. So, okay, teams going out to campus, what does our collateral look like? How does it drive back to the bigger picture? Is it brand aligned? What can we do that's kind of cool, different, but also keeps us within the boundaries of the branding guidelines? So that's where my part comes into play. And I think the most important piece too is, you know, that brand recognition while keeping it real. Because this particular demographic, and I'll be the first to say, I don't like the term
you're allowed
millennial,
to invite more
and
guests,
I would
Audra.
rather see that make its way out of the conversation. Because this is what happens.
The most Gen X millennial there is, by the way. I'm like so millennial, but not, clearly.
So,
this is, well, I'm usually getting asked to leave parties, so this is actually really refreshing for me, the fact that you're enjoying this conversation. But, you know, who was it? Microsoft had to apologize for that recruiter email that went out, you know, talking about Bay and come join us for the beer pong and all that stuff. I think what happens when you start throwing around the term millennial, the connotation is out there. People hear millennial nowadays and they think, did you see? And they equate that to that mentality. Oh, you know, they're going to show up and be half-assed. They're going to show up and expect the world to be given to them on a platter. And this is a work ethic. Right, exactly. So the danger is kind of generalizing this population and assuming that your marketing efforts have to reflect that. So, okay, we're dealing with short attention spans. We're dealing with people who are going to leave in a month. We're dealing with people who don't have the work ethic that was there once upon a time. And that's not true. And you can't let that your interpretation of the term millennial dictate your marketing and branding efforts, because that's really dangerous. That doesn't resonate with the reality, with the real people. So I think approaching campus recruiting with the mindset of, okay, we're representing the brand, but this is a one-to-one conversation. It's not a one to this massive audience that's going to peace out in a month and, you know, like I just said. So I think putting yourself in the seat of the candidate, being able to speak to your own experience and really kind of capturing what your brand is about.
Like open the door.
Integral portion,
you know, so you can see it. So they're probably faster to go and look and see what's going on, and are more inclined to leave because they don't have the fear that the older generation have got. But that doesn't mean we don't want the same things. Like, I want the same flexibility. I'm loving working from home. But currently, my dog isn't jumping on the screen. Yours is. The cat's been in. You know, that kind of stuff. Is that Labrador as well? Is he Lab? I don't know. He's a lab something. Yeah, I've got a chocolate one down here somewhere.
They're all recipe, so you know.
I won't show you because I need a Hoover.
Yeah.
But I think the only difference is just that we had more fear because we didn't have the transparency, and now there is the transparency. And to me, that's the difference. But I know plenty of millennials in that huge 15-year gap who have worked for companies 5, 6, 7 years.
Sure.
And are perfectly loyal. They haven't just turned over every 5 minutes. I mean, it's ridiculous. And also, isn't it possible that they're just 20-year-olds acting like 20-year-olds? Not.
That's true.
Yeah.
Correct. Right. Not part of this like big classification. And I think too, like, you can really kind of capitalize upon, you know, you can get your content right on your channels. You can go to campus with the coolest giveaways. You can go with hiring managers at the ready to make offers. And that's great. But people still care, candidates still care about what, you know, we cared about when we were on the job market, which is follow-up, which is people answering their emails, people responding to them. Can you hear that? This is the WWE that takes place in our house.
That was the fastest.
I don't know if you could see them, but I too need to Hoover. So
Don't notice
it back. Yeah. I turned it, and then I saw the crumbs on the floor. I'm like, oh shit. So, you know, it's like you can master the craft, you can master your elevator pitch, you can present your bells and whistles, but if there's not that afterward that is intact, and you have, you know, the solid recruiting, hiring manager practices down pat, you know, the old school stuff, the picking up the phone and having conversations.
Now, did you ever do email marketing?
It's all for naught
to the students, like after the events?
Yeah. So, and we found that, you know, email, the rates were pretty good. The response rates were pretty good. I think where you can kind of differentiating your standard email, you know, subject line and a blurb about we're hiring, if you can kind of differentiate and add some cool design elements to that, maybe embed like a video that they could go and learn more, making it, you know, a little more eye-catching and a little more engaging than your standard email, that goes a long way. And you got to time it right too. You know, you got to know the campus calendar to know when is the good time to send, when they're going to be on campus break and not looking at their campus email or their
so they give you their college
you know, be in tune with that as well.
So you don't want to, that makes sense. I heard a really cool thing I'm excited to try out.
Typically,
So say you're this one university you really you're hiring from, you have all these emails because you've gone there, you've collected them. They have like a big football game or whatever the big sport is for them. You send an email then saying like, go Terps or whatever their team is, to kind of get their attention. And then you say, oh, by the way, you know, we're hiring, like maybe lower down.
Shouldn't the, oh, by the way, we're hiring always be the afterthought anyway? Shouldn't it all be about, this is what our company's about, these are the projects we're working on, this is, you know, day in the life of blah, blah, blah. Oh, by the way, there's our jobs. I mean, that's what I'd advise to any, because it's like watching a Twitter job feed, isn't it? Who's interested in that? You kind of want to see in. I still think we all want to just see in first and kind of decide. And it might be a really long process before we go, okay, we're going to step. Okay, different maybe for graduates, because obviously there's more of them, but for professionals, they're certainly going to want to have, I don't know, kind of be drip fed like you would in marketing for a sale. I have a spaniel buying my feet, sorry. Just one sec. Stop it. Oh my God. Right.
Where's Travelers located? Is it mostly New England, US, or is it, I don't even know. How big is it?
Well, the two major offices, one's in Hartford, Connecticut, and the other one is in St. Paul. And then we have our field offices.
What does the company do? I so should know, but
majority of the workforce is in Hartford.
Research.
And to your point.
Okay.
Oh, it's property and casualty insurance. So again, you know, back to the insurance world, you're not exactly the Oracles of the world. You know, you're not the Googles of the world. So immediately you're kind of faced with this, well, how do we sell that? You know, how do we kind of shift the connotation and the perception of insurance to be exciting? And I think too, some of the work that we're doing across the organization, there's pieces of this traveler story that aren't being told, that are actually really exciting, that's going to resonate with, you know, vast audiences. So giving the platform to really kind of get that out is the biggest piece of our strategy right now. So I think too, you know, to Audra's point, not necessarily entering the arena and like shoving jobs in people's faces and coming across this job board and, you know, work here, we're working on this position, this is where it's located, apply today. You know, that's so stale. There's job boards out there for that. Do not, you know, don't look at your social channels or your core social channels as vehicles to just post jobs. Unnecessary. And that gets really redundant and really old quickly. So, you know, sparking a conversation organically, shining a light on what your culture is like on the day-to-day, talking to senior leadership, talking to the everyday, you know, Joe, about their role and what keeps them there and why it is that they love their job. And that content is going to be the content that resonates. And then you're going to be asked,
I think what keeps you there is such a powerful question.
Oh, I'm so glad you asked.
Because it's always going to be an unexpected answer. So
definitely. One of the most gratifying campaigns that I've participated in was the I Love My Job campaign with Oracle. Just keeping it simple, you know, why do you love your job? And we got into, you know, your expected answers, which were, you know, Oracle is a big name. I was really excited to get involved with big tech, lots of money to be made. And then you had like the realest of the real, which were like mothers who
appreciated the work-life balance. They could work from home and leave midday to go get their kids from school. And Oracle not only, provided opportunity for that, but celebrated that. So those were some of the responses that we got, and it really took off because I think that was probably the closest to the mark that we got when it came to telling the real stories that people want to hear about. People people don't want to hear necessarily that, oh, lots of opportunities for growth. Oh, you can take advantage of different classes, or, oh, you're going to be able to mingle with senior leadership. That's great. But like what I want to know about is, okay, is someone, going to get ticked off when I walk my dogs midday? Is somebody going to, be kind of taken aback by my look when I get to the office? Is there LGBT
that thing
support?
As well, because people like to work in flow, don't they? So, I'm a real morning person, great in the morning. I'm really crap in the afternoon for work. So, but there are other people that are the other way around. Yeah. Actually, they're probably better to start their day at 10 or 11, but work to 8 at night. Why not? Like, I think these days with technology, why not? You don't have to physically be in the office all the time.
Right.
Yes, of course, there are professions where you do, but the majority these days, really?
Yeah.
So, I mean, obviously you're working from home. Do many of your team get to work from home?
Yeah.
In your company, or has it worked?
And I think work flex is a new topic of discussion for this company. It was not always the way of the world, but I mean, I think there's some buy-in. I think there's folks who are understanding the value and the flexibility that it offers. And when you offer work from home, you're opening yourself up to so much more selection when it comes to the talent that you can choose from. So I think people are starting to get that.
There is no way I'd go back to that.
Yeah, it's becoming more and more common.
Every so often I do it, like yesterday morning, and I'm just on this train and just going, nah. I mean, everyone just looks miserable. They just look miserable, and they got off and they look miserable, and it was so like,
not for me.
And I mean, I love London, so anytime I go in, I get excited. But it was still like, no. I just, it just kills the hour each way every day. Just rammed with people on the side.
Totally. Any job that says to me that you're going to have to get dressed every day, it's not for me.
Amy, there's a whole thing. I actually haven't been bought into the whole thing about wearing yoga pants, pants or something. It's just hilarious conversation. And I used to laugh because the when I was working in town, dressed on Friday was the day that most of us were the most productive because we were comfortable. And it's stuff like that. But I still come up against the conversation of, people who work from home don't work hard, which absolutely pisses me off, because you just don't have the coffee breaks. You don't have the constant, I'm just going to the toilet and someone catches you 20 minutes later. You're coming back to your desk. I don't have any of that.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. I work harder. From home. I mean, this took me 15 minutes this morning. I could have been, responding to emails. I could have been feeling the ocean by noon, but
on your head,
and if I had to do that every day, and I remember
I spent like under 5 for sure.
I mean,
I did put
you're welcome.
I put some extra goo in, believe it or not, but it's extra goo to keep it flat.
On the day-to-day, it's like beanie and go, and you're done. And, back in the Aetna days, I remember, like, before work from home was really a thing, having these side-of-the-desk conversations. And, like, I think I probably got in a grand total of, like, 4 solid, uninterrupted hours when I was in the office. At home, I could go and go and go. I have to be reminded to
you're making me think, because actually, in my company, it's almost 50%
for sure.
of our workforce is remote. And I think I should promote that more, because it's cool. Yes.
Oh, wow. That's a big question. Totally. It's totally cool. And, people want to, that's a big question nowadays too, for across the board, across the different levels, is there work flexibility?
I do think you get better people these days. Plus you get all the return to workers, don't you?
That goes a long way.
Is that you having to go? Is that your reminder, beeper? You can't go yet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was me. I'm sorry.
Oh, it was Audra. It was her egg timer saying, go and hang your washing up. It's the middle of the day. there is one. What's the drawback to working from home, though, Audra? Go on, share.
Even
in the shower.
No,
not. Wait.
Eating too much.
Oh, getting fat. Yes. I eat all day long.
Agreed. Eating too much. Yeah. I call my, like, I think 15 pounds or so, like my Oracle weight, because I literally like never got up and like, you know, walked around or anything. I've been trying to, my resolution when I joined the Travelers was, okay, maybe take like a midday walk, or maybe, you know, fill the house with healthy snacks. So we're getting there.
I think that's where I find the dogs so
Locking
good.
the
So I will at
fridge,
least start my morning, even if like this morning I got up with every intention and it started finally at 9 something, but whatever. But to take them out for 45 minutes, even though it's not hard walking, it's just for me to go and just tune in with nature and be outside and then come back. I'm much better than if I just get up and go and sit at my desk. I can't do it.
Yeah. See, my dogs are assholes. Like, they are terrible on the leash. So, like, I get out there with every intent. Like, I got my running shoes on. I'm in sweatpants. I'm, like, ready to take on the world. 7 a.m. I'm out there, you know, like, in the zone. And then they misbehave, or they, like, pull me in one direction, the other pulls me in another.
Then the ones that go across the nose, behind the ears. I will send ridiculous. I will send you a link to the ones that I think are the absolute best, because they don't hurt the dog. And
we're going to have to look into that.
I can't do pounds, but Lance must be about 39 kilos. But it's 2.2.
I'm desperate, Katrina.
So 80 something pounds, and I can just walk him like that, you know.
Okay. Okay, that you're gonna have to send me the link, Katrina, because I'm desperate at this point. Our lab is
going to talk about campus
she's
recruitment.
like a football player. You're dragging me down the street. So, and I'm pretty convinced that, you know, our name.
But actually, they make those for kids.
That's okay, we got together.
No, your kids are out of control.
They need that thing. I think that would work.
Actually, here's a question for you that I get all the time, and I really must start writing about much more, is the whole professional thing. Like, to me, we're acting like that right now. Yeah, we're being professional. We're going off topic occasionally. But we're throwing in, we're a human being and we're a professional all into one. Do you come up against that as well because of that whole, because I keep saying to recruiters, look like somebody worth talking to. You know, share something that people can talk to you about. It will be the dogs or the cats or whatever. Do you have any top tips for being you?
Yeah, I mean, it's funny because I have you know, my friends will often say like, oh, you know, you don't really get nervous when you're talking to people at different levels, and I'm like, well, maybe I should, you know, I don't know. I think entering the conversation, no matter what level you're talking to, if you have an appointment with a VP or you're kicking, you know, shooting the breeze with a recruiter, whatever the case may be, you know, go into the conversation ready to be your most authentic self. I think too often we get like so hung up on like, okay, you know, I want to talk about A, B, and C. I'm going to keep it to, you know, those subjects. When in all reality, like, conversations are going to go in different directions. Conversations are going to ask the truth of you. So if you're going into these discussions honestly, with respect, you know, you're conducting yourself, and, you know, you're not going to steer the conversation toward you know, the frat party you went to over the weekend by any means. But, you know, you might be able to spark a conversation. And, I mean, if I'm talking to Audra, maybe, but anybody else, you know your audience, know what topics are okay, and maybe shy away from. One-on-one settings are a little different than group settings. Just know what you're going to try to get across. Know that they're probably going to try to relate to you on a human level, and don't go in like, you know, working yourself up. You know yourself, you know the answers to these questions because this is your experience that you're talking to. This is your life that they're inquiring about. They're not going to ask you anything you don't know the answer to. And if they do, you just say, oh, you know, I'm not sure, but I'd be interested.
Is that the same across on social media, which is where I obviously have a lot of the struggle?
You know? It doesn't have to be like those.
Oh, I can't be real. And you're going, like, why not?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, there's the brand voice, so you have to adhere to that when you're talking on social on behalf of the brand, sure. But there's a difference between saying, you know, wow, I really love my job. I just had, you know, an hour chat with my boss about whatever, and like being robotic. There's a line, and I think once you kind of get in your groove, you understand your brand enough to be able to tell your stories. you strike that balance.
I find it quite interesting that I do see a lot of companies that suffocate.
It's just about knowing your space, really.
By going, you have to be too professional. It's just, and it comes across as inauthentic. Is there such a word? Not authentic, whatever the word is.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. Nobody's interested in that. Nobody's interested in that. Yeah. But to Microsoft, you know, you don't want to necessarily address somebody an email like, "Hey, babe," you know, you don't want to. There's
she doesn't like, "Hey, don't say hey."
And I think psyching yourself out.
No, we can now. We can now. I know you, but a cold email that's
I mean, I don't like either. Even on a personal level,
Katrina, it's gone. You could be offering me a job. I am so not interested in hey,
it's cultural.
No, I think it's an age thing as well.
No,
it is cultural. Yeah.
I don't even like that on a personal level. Like, I mean, you can address me, like, if we're talking in person, you can say, "Hey, you know, how are you?" Something to that effect. But, like, if it's an email or a text message or anything, "Hey," with nothing else, I don't like that. It just turns me on.
Hi, Katrina. You've never spoken to me before. Hi, Katrina. I guess I'm from the old school where we used to like, "Dear Katrina," or even "Dear Ms. Collier."
Hi, Katrina.
I'm that generation. So.
Oh, yeah. That turns me on. Yeah, I mean, you should see the names that Audra calls me in our private messages. I mean, I've been working with her a little bit. Like, yeah. I mean, I've had to scold her a couple of times. Just to be like, no.
There was a hey.
Hey ho. I mean,
that was hair. H-A-I-R with my Australian accent. I apologize. That was not hey ho.
There's a fine line.
Brilliant. Our little chatter channel is very quiet down here. Do you think it's still there? Did she run away? Is she still there?
She's probably multitasking.
Oh, she's gone.
I know. Where's Katrina? Katrina, are you still with us?
Matt's upside down.
She's had her fill.
Yeah, I like that. Isn't that cute? Isn't that cool?
She's
So you can't search for it. That's anything. Sorry, I'm boring. But he has a great.
Oh, Matt. Okay, I couldn't read that at first. He's bored.
Yeah.
I think Katrina's wondering who gave us the mic over here. I think she pieced out.
Yeah, she loves it. Have you met Matt before? Probably not. Yeah.
You're not. I'm the only one that's allowed to stroke his beard. So.
No, I have not. I would love to though.
Matt, what's the rules?
I don't know. Well, now I have no interest in meeting him if I can.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm cute.
Yeah.
On kind of a side note, that's not exactly related.
Look that up.
I'm curious, you already have a Facebook careers page? Or you do, right? Yeah. So how often do you plan on posting to that? Because I kind of feel like there's absolutely no point unless you're going to boost it. Or do you feel like that or no?
It honestly, and you know, as far as the granular decision making, you know, we're not quite there yet. I will say in my experience, if you are posting really good content and you are encouraging your employees to engage with it, to share it, you know, building that employee advocacy, I think it could stand to perform a lot better than probably what's to be expected. If you just kind of post and forget about it or walk away and, you know, there's no engagement coming from within, you're not really doing much to promote it yourself. It's all for naught. So I don't think it's necessary to promote per se. I think it's necessary to engage and really craft your content well. So for instance, like our posts were for the most part all organic at Oracle. And the posts that did the best were like those I love my jobs. You know, they performed really well. Engagement rates were off the charts after a while. And because people were sharing both externally and internally, there was all of a sudden it made a shift from the, hey, we're doing this, do you want to participate model to the, hey, I saw this. My coworker told me about the I love my job campaign. Can I participate? And then you just saw this dramatic
share my own post with I love my job in it, it gets so much. And like I'm the company one. But when I'm on my own personal feed, people love to hear that from other people. And you're not ashamed to share that in your friends network. Whereas if you gave me a job and said, would you share this job? I'd be like, no.
Yeah.
No, I'm not doing that. But and I love my job or I hate something about something. Yeah. Either extreme. We're perfectly happy.
Right. No.
I think that's a good point.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, we're all social media. Like you have your corporate brand, but people's main concern is their personal brand. So if you're going to do something to stroke my ego and you're going to help me build my personal brand, I'm all about it. And that's the human quality to all of this. Okay, I'll do this for you, but what was it going to do for me? And I think elaborating on that and providing that type of forum to folks is really what kind of gets people engaged, gets people excited, and all of a sudden you're no longer begging for content. It's coming to you. And to your point, when you share on your personal channels, like your engagement blows up. So I think when you are talking about the progress you're making on your corporate channels and your engagement rates and things like that, you have to consider the whole picture. So look, we might have gotten a 10% engagement rate here on Oracle Careers or Facebook, but this person shared it to their own network and it has 1,000 likes. So really kind of pulling that in and showing those results as well, that's just going to solidify your business case. And there's like the social diagnostics is what I call them, like the engagement rates, the reach, the impressions. And then there's like your bottom line metrics, which are your hires, your time to fill, the measurement that's going to matter to the higher ups and the leadership. So breaking both down.
I think what I love is as well, Audra, there's something to consider. Facebook really have just redone the pages. So if you have a jobs tab down the side, you'll be able to see it now. Whereas it used to be tucked under the drop down if you added a jobs app. So for people who are going to happen upon, who are going to look up Tenable anyway, because there's 1.71 billion people using Facebook, there are people going to come to your page who might not like anything, who might stay. It just might literally look and go. But if they can see that that's there, it's a bit of a no-brainer. So obviously there's your workforce, your job bites. I now know Oracle does it as well. I mean, there's something companies that can add that, and I'm sure there's free solutions out there as well for all I know. So they come in.
You used to not be able to see it on your phone. You can now? You used to not be able to see the apps on your phone. You can now?
I was meaning desktop, to be fair.
Oh, yeah.
I've just taken a really long, lingering look at my phone before I answered that for God knows what reason. But anyway, it's like it's something else. I think it's because it's Friday at 10 to 4, so who knows what I'm thinking.
Let me fact check.
Yeah, no, it must have been I hadn't. Say it again?
Can we get a fact checker on the phone?
We need to look. We need to look. But,
Can we get
actually, and one thing I would be, when you talk about the live stream, the Facebook live thing does my head in. I keep unfollowing absolutely every single person. It's like, I don't want, the notifications remind me of the LinkedIn blog notifications, which I've also turned off.
Oh, I like it. I love it.
Maybe I'm just miserable.
Interesting.
Yeah. No, I honestly, I don't
use it, but I like.
I mean, it's definitely personal preference. A lot of people say they love it. A lot of people do. But I'm also like, and but to be fair, and I'll be the first to admit this. I'm a late adopter. Like I didn't really get into Snapchat until
in June.
6 months ago. I keep up. I mean, I like to keep up with what's cool, what's hip, what people are doing, best practices, things like that, and do my day-to-day. But I'm always the last to the scene on a personal level. So Facebook Live, I'm sure
I'll stream Disrupt
be on board
HR
for that in a couple of months. It just takes me a while.
It's running again. I'll make sure I do both halves this time. Because there was no sound, so I didn't do the second half last time. I'll make sure I do both sides. But I just don't like it kind of almost being forced on people, I guess, is that I don't need a notification. I'll see it in my feed if I'm going to see it in my feed. Because obviously my feed is structured in such a way I see the people I want to see as well. I love the unplay buttons. One of my favorites.
It's the worst though when a friend is like, "Didn't you see my picture?" And you're like, "Oh, I haven't seen your pictures in years."
But there's a reason for that. I was telling Audra how you can swipe to go past somebody's snaps, and she didn't know that. She was so excited. You don't have to click all the way through. You can just go flick. Here comes 16 kid photos from Audra. Swipe.
Hey, cheeky cow.
Okay, I might have taken to go through your kid photos quite fast. I stopped at the cat photo.
You have dog photos.
Yeah, you don't have to watch any of them.
How's that
I don't sit
different?
there and see if you watched. I don't care. If you haven't watched, whatever.
Yeah, mine's Yeah, I always get concerned after I watch others because I'm thinking to myself,
Or naughtier
they're
than
so
your
young and they're
dogs.
already cooler than me. That's concerning.
I have
Their
a little too
music
much fun with
taste,
that.
So
their
have you got any final questions, Audrey?
Let's see.
I love your
I
sound.
got to do some recruitment stuff today. I have to think if I have any questions. How do you promote, or do you promote beforehand that you're going to campuses? 'Cause I don't really want to like put it on Facebook when it's not only going to relate to a few students, or do you do much promotion for before?
That's a good question. And actually, I just had this conversation. So the events section in Facebook, my pet peeve in life is going to somebody's events, and I do go there and see that they haven't updated since like 2013. So making use of that, it's free, it's there. If people are looking at it, great. If they're not, you haven't lost anything. You know, create a couple of brand aligned banners for each event, post them there maybe 2 weeks in advance. And then you can cross promote too. So you're creating content in and of itself where you can take that event link, share it on Twitter, share it, you know, on your Instagram, wherever you want, wherever you're active. That's an option. And then also when you are looking to promote events prior to and just as you're, you know, about to head to that campus, leverage the hashtags that the schools are using on Twitter. Tag your schools, you know, if you have employees that are going to be in attendance that are active on these social channels, tag them as well, ask them to share. So yeah, that's really kind of the route that we've taken. And
if you wanted to promote as well, Audrey, you can do the
stuff that you can do that's just pretty easy to implement.
The list thing. You could download your email list and upload it and mark it to those people as well if they're on using obviously the same email on Facebook. But you can, if you've already got a database. Oh,
an email marketing.
What it's called.
And another fun thing that you can do too is if you're going to campus prior to or day of, you can ask people who are going to be in attendance to take a picture of themselves by your booth and promote it to their own channels, and you'll see yourself on our corporate channels if you tag this. If you take a picture, for us it would be under the umbrella. We'll go ahead and promote it, and that's what people really like to engage in.
You love his beard.
Thanks, Matt. Matt just said that's a great idea. I like Matt. He can hang out anytime.
I actually have to.
Yeah.
Definitely. We don't have anyone lined up for next week.
Anyone that gives me positive
organized at the moment.
Well, we don't even know if we have a platform.
Yeah, no.
We gotta
I'll sort that out this coming week. So I do have some great ideas in the pipeline. I've just been, to be fair, I've been traveling all over the place. So.
Absolutely.
I'm back. I'm back in the building.
Yeah, Lindsay,
she's back.
I can't use this platform anymore because they're going to you have to do paid only shows, which is very annoying.
So you would have to pay to watch us, which is crazy, you know?